I heard on other somebody commenting on other podcasts like, oh, that moment when you hear them stall for time and you hear keyboards rattling in the background. I'm like, aha, I cut those out all the time. Hello, Stuart.
Hello, Floris.
You got your notes ready?
I got. I wouldn't. Don't call them notes.
Oh, right.
Don't oversell them
Cheat
by calling
sheets.
them notes.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm fairly good. I'm a little ill, but I'm all right. I've got a bit of a scratchy throat and such. Like that aside, though, very good. Weekend's here again.
It's always nice to have the weekend. Says the guy whose days are all identical.
I don't feel like we do this stupidly though, because we come all the weekend chit chat, and it's like it comes out on a Tuesday, so that's synced up.
Yeah, but we never actually discuss the weekend. We just go like, oh yeah, it's bank holiday, this or not. Sometimes.
Yeah, I suppose. How are you?
Me?
You.
Yeah, like I said, all my days are basically identical. So I've just been slacking off a little bit, to be honest. I've been meaning to go to the hairdressers. That's how exciting my life is. But every day I'm like, ugh, can't be bothered.
Everywhere I go now, everyone calls me Jesus. That is the look I'm at. That's the.
Yeah, you seem to be like 3 steps ahead of me in that matter.
Yeah, it's been. I was trying to think the other day. It's been like a year since I had my haircut. But and hello, you. How are you, listener? How are you? How's your week going?
Yes, please let us know, because we can't do anything with the information, but we do care.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. TLDR, we care. We care about all this.
It would involve some kind of a weird spatial temporal mechanism if we could actually, have little messages pop up like, yeah, my day's shit, and be like, well, Roger from Scunthorpe says his day is going shit.
What we need to do is start doing these on Periscope live.
And have people hear how stupid we actually sound, because I cut out like 90% of all unusable materials, like straight off the bat.
Yes, okay.
Like, oh, this is the bit where I say the same thing in 3 different volumes, and every time I think I'm expressing new information. So, are you drinking anything?
Yes, I am. I've got 8 pints of pissy Australian lager because it was on offer in the shop. I'm sure you know the one.
Foster's.
The one and only. I don't know. I shouldn't badmouth Foster's. People take the piss out of it, but it's
a friend of the show always likes to get a pint of Foster's if he's in the pub.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the go-to. Standard.
If he's not forced to go home before 9 o'clock in the evening by his missus.
Well, I was going to say, are you drinking anything? But I very audibly heard the a second ago. So, what is it that you're drinking?
I'm hoping you got like an umbrella or a raincoat with you, because it's Schuttersbier. if you'd like to me pronounce that a little bit more English.
God bless you.
It's a store brand beer that's not really store brand. It's in a different supermarket than I usually go to, so I don't normally drink this. And there was nothing on sale. I'm like, okay, fine, we'll just go with something I haven't had in ages, and it's actually pretty decent.
No,
the low-cost cans, not the ones that cost like $1.30 a can, like Tiskies.
Oh yeah. Although I think Tiski's quite reasonably priced in my town, because we do have a large Polish population, and I think they market it to. I think you can get it for pretty cheap.
Oh, that's pretty good then. But over here, it's like Tiski and all the other beers like that. They're all like €1 something, and I'm like, well, I like it, but I don't like it enough to pay that much for a single half-litre can.
Yeah, the imported premium lagers.
Basically, what Freddie Heineken said, like the entire Mercedes regular car kind of thing. If you drank it, you're like, okay, that's good, but why would I pay full price for it?
What's the Mercedes car thing?
Oh, Freddie Heineken said, like, Heineken was a Mercedes in America, but it was just a car in Holland.
Okay, all right.
It's a metaphor.
I like the implication is that people in Germany, like everyone drives a Mercedes.
Germany? Where are you getting Germany from?
Mercedes, German car now?
Oh, might be. I was like, Heineken, and you made it German. I'm like, what? I am not a car person, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly where the Mercedes came from.
Well, no, you're a human man.
Do you know who is a car person?
Who is a car person?
Optimus Prime.
Well, no, he's actually a truck.
Well, he's called an Autobot, so...
Yeah, I suppose. Okay.
Oh, well, going off on a great start there.
This is going to be a good one.
Well, last time we hit rock bottom fairly early. We managed to get a bit lofty afterwards, so...
yeah. Right. Well, I might as well tell you what's going on with me, anyway. So, I haven't seen my downstairs neighbour in a week. And the post is piling up now.
All right.
And his trainers are just in the hallway still. And I'm thinking, like, do I call the police? Like, how long do you leave it before you go? I think the guy downstairs might be dead. You know.
Please checking Tuesday with TLDR to check if he's actually dead.
Yeah, tune in next week to find out. Yeah,
dun.
No, I'm serious. Like,
I was going to joke about that. Like, do you think he's on the lam or do you think he's dead? But he might
I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead. But like, so we saw him last Thursday, and then we haven't seen him since. He had some post over the weekend, and we were like, oh, you know, maybe he's just away for the weekend. Whatever, you know, not a big deal. But then by about Tuesday, we were like, I don't know, I'm kind of worried now. And like by today, I was like, all right, it's been a whole week.
So you have like a communal hallway, I take.
Yeah, so I live in the upstairs flat. He lives downstairs flat.
Oh, right.
We share like hallway. You know, we occasionally we don't have like a relationship, but you know, ships in the night sometimes as he's coming in, I'm going out or what have you.
Like a friendly hello.
Yeah, it's a quick hello. Also, hilarious. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but hilarious aside, the day that he moved in, he misheard my name as Steve. And I didn't correct him, and I've never corrected him, and now it's too late. Now I can't correct him now. Every time I see him, he goes, "Hello, Steve."
Now it's awkward.
And now I'm like, I can't tell him now. I can't have waited an entire year and be like. I look like a weirdo. Like, why didn't you mention it?
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine you calling the police at this point, and they bust in, and he's like dying on bed, and he's rushed to the hospital, and he gets put in the newspapers, like the local Echo, and it's like heroic neighborhood Steve Bramley called the police as soon as he figured out that his best friend downstairs neighbor was dying. And you'd be like, but my name isn't Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, seriously though, it's been a week. Should I contact the authorities?
I would at least knock on his door, perhaps.
I'd much rather ring the police and let them deal with it. I like, this is how English I am. I don't want to have to. If I knock on the door and he answers it and he goes, "Hi, Steve, what's up?" What do I go? Just making sure you're alive? Like what? Like how the fuck do I?
No, just make up something like, we had a power outage upstairs. We want to check if it's anything wrong with your electrical grid.
We don't need the power boxes are in the hall.
Fuck it.
Just the classic. I need a cup of sugar, something like that. He did. So he came here from Germany, and his second day in the flat, I got a knock on my door and opened it. And he was like, what do I do about the bins? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, where do I get a bin from? I was like, what, like a dust bin for the council? I was like, ring the council. I was like, why have you come to ask me this?
Because he thought you were like the landlord or something, or?
He reckons he's a dentist, this guy. Apparently he's a dentist. And so, like, because I was saying, like, on Wednesday, I was, like, saying to the missus, shall I ring the police? And she was like, well, you know, if he's not turned up for work, won't they have contacted the authorities? I was like, that's a good point, especially if he's a dentist. Like,
the dentist would be very easily missed at his work.
Yeah, that's not the kind of person that they would just go, well, he's fired. and then never address it again. You know what I mean? But I keep meaning to Google him and be like, is he actually a fucking dentist? Because you can look that shit up. You can look that up. You can type in someone's name and dentist or doctor, and if they're registered at a surgery on the NHS, it will come up on Google. Oh. So I keep thinking maybe I should look that shit up and be like, is he at a practice? Is he at a practice somewhere? But I don't know.
That's actually quite handy to have.
Only for situations like this. I can't think of another reason why you'd need it.
To make sure you don't have an appointment with a quack.
A quack? A quack
well, salver.
If it's got an NHS logo on, you're probably okay.
Hang on. This is NH2.
Yeah, unless you're going down an alleyway to go into the surgery, you're probably all right.
Hello there, Governor. You want any used needles?
Yeah. So it turns out it's N.H.S, which stands for not actual surgeon.
Yours is better.
Yeah, that was all right, wasn't it? That wasn't bad. But yeah, so that's my going concern at the moment. Just this.
You might have a corpse downstairs.
Yeah, well, it's every day when I come home from work, I'm going, is the post still going to be there? Is the post still going to be there? Oh, there's more. And like every time the missus goes into the hallway, she starts like sniffing to see if she can smell a dead body. Not that she knows what a dead body would smell like, so that's no help.
Maybe he's very well preserved.
He could be, yeah. Maybe he embalmed himself before he died.
That's very considerate, wouldn't you say so?
Well, it saves on the expense. I mean,
not to self-embalm body before slitting wrists.
I was going to say, why did you do a German accent? But that's because I said he moved here from Germany.
You said he was German?
No, I said he moved here from Germany.
Oh, right, okay.
He's Indian, if you want.
Go
on, do that accent.
No, why?
Because it'd be funny.
My dentist was German, the last one I had, and it's absolutely terrifying, to be honest. It's really? Like you're drilled, and I don't want to use drilled as a pun, but you're drilled into your mind like anybody speaking German in a calm voice is about to inflict serious harm on you. So it's like, please open your mouth. I'm like, yes, don't hurt me. But then, being a dentist, he fucking hurts you anyway, because that's what dentists do.
Oh, yeah. No. Have you seen Marathon Man?
Marathon Man, yeah.
Yeah. Way the Nazi dentist tortures dusted off. My last dentist was an Irish lassie, and she was beautiful. And let me tell you, the Irish brogue is the antithesis of the German voice.
Oh yeah, it's just so sing-song, isn't it?
I used to look forward to going to the dentist. I was like, this is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. She did the first time I ever saw her as well. She did the classic put all the shit in my mouth that holds all your mouth open. So you go on holiday. Oh my God, look at me! There I go doing the cliched thing, and I was just like she's laughing at herself, and I'm like, I can't speak.
That's like.
Yeah, no, it was like the big stupid, the plastic thing that holds your mouth wide open.
Yeah.
That fucker, she just put that in and then asked me a question, and then she literally was like, oh God, what am I like? Well, can you believe someone did that in real life? And I
hate making small talk with people who perform a service for me. And even if they're a dentist is obviously a lot more impressive than what the fuck I do for a living. But I can't make small talk with anybody like hairdressers. That's why I don't go to the hairdressers. I have to sit still and fucking listen to someone and be like, yeah, I totally agree with that thing. Yeah, sure. Ugh, can't do it. Can't do it.
I'm actually alright at it, but I still dread it. I hate it. I prefer it if the hairdresser stands steadfastly like a sentinel, stony-faced, cutting my hair, and then at the end holds a mirror up to me, to the back of my head, and I can just give a non-committal grunt and then hand over some cash and leave. That's what I want. But
they always see me take my glasses off beforehand, and then do you like what you see when they hold up that mirror? I'm like, well, you just saw me take my glasses off, so how am I supposed to know?
The key is just ask them questions, and they just start talking about that. If they ask you if you're going on holiday, just go, nah, not this year, what about you? And then they just prattle on about their own holiday, and you can just fucking space out.
The weirdest thing is that when I worked in hotels, I was like that. I was like, oh yeah, I'll come into work, flip a switch, and I just keep talking without, like, any real purpose. Never
Yeah,
personally, never about my own life, but just about stuff in general. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, we'll just see where this shit ends, but, you know.
I've never had a customer-facing job, thank fuck, so I've never had to be like that. I am known as, like, the surly guy around the office, like...
You.
People always think that I'm just, like, pissed off constantly. Like,
Stone-faced Stuart.
Yeah, I know, I've got like a big It's because I've got like a big Neanderthal forehead on me.
You mean the guy I've saved a picture of that such a scowl on it that I'm like, this has to be perpetually saved? You mean you?
Yes. Yeah, no, it's because it's because it all stems from the days where I didn't wear glasses for years and I couldn't see shit, so I was constantly squinting, and it looked like I was just like really pissed off, but it's not. It's because I couldn't see anything, so I had to narrow my eyes to try and see, and people just thought I was trying to give them the Clint Eastwoods or something. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So I've been watching all the Child's Play films.
Oh, okay, all right. I've only ever seen the first one, and it was years ago. Why have you been watching all the Child's Play films?
Why? Because I am a sucker for, well, basically shitty slasher stuff. Like any horror films, I'm usually like, oh, I'm into that. But especially like the random, here is a serial killer, here's a silly gimmick, watch him kill some people for the next hour and a half. Those always work for me, even if they're absolutely shit.
Yes.
So, a killer doll killing people, even though, logically speaking, somebody that's 2 foot high shouldn't be able to do the things he does. But, you know, it's a film, and it's brilliant. So, Child's Play 2 and 3, and Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and Curse of Chucky. I spent, like, the entire week watching all of them. And
what's the newest one?
It's the newest one that's out next Tuesday. This Tuesday. Hey there, it's Floris from the future. Basically, I got the date wrong and it's not until the 20th of October. Please don't get your hopes up. It's going to be another 2 weeks as of airing of this episode. Very sorry. And now we'll just get back to me ranting about how great slasher films really are. Bye!
It'll be release day.
It's Cult of Chucky, and it's on video on demand, DVD and Blu-ray, because they couldn't get it in the cinemas, unfortunately.
Oh, really? That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's a bit too bad. The last one was the same, I think.
I can see the last one, but that sort of kitsch slasher bullshit is back on vogue now. I figured there would have been kind of an ironic hipster swell for the cinema-going audience to go and see that, but whatever.
Well, seeing as the last one did so well that they made another one within, I think it came out 2014. It's actually quite impressive, I think, because all this time, all of the Chucky films have only had the one writer, the one creative person behind it.
Really?
Yeah.
That is staggering, especially for a slasher franchise. That must be the only one.
So to have something go from, like, for a slasher series that was a little bit tongue-in-cheek with, like, a gimmicky killer, to then turn into, like, mid-90s Scream self-aware parody, which it kind of was with The Bride and the Seed of Chucky. And then it came back with The Curse of Chucky, and it went back to its roots, so to say. And it was very dark and very solemn. I'd use the word solemn. Minimalistic. It was like one house, one setting, and it was actually quite fucking scary, to be honest, despite the fact it's about a killer doll.
Really?
So the fact that one guy behind all of that throughout the 80s, 90s, and mid-2000s, well, hang on, 90s? Yeah, a couple of them came out in the 90s. Yeah, so it's like decades of just this one little killer doll, always done by the same guy voicing it. That's brilliant. I think that's actually quite a testament to how important Chucky is in, like, at least the subculture of silly slasher films.
Oh, no, I think Chucky is rightfully sort of in the pantheon of great horror villains. Certainly if you're talking in franchises, like you're looking at like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, not that one. Pinhead from Hellraiser?
Pinhead probably as well.
Put him in there, and then I think Chucky definitely stands alongside those as like an enduring figure who's been in a ton of movies. But really, like, it's the same guy who's directed it, and so did you say it was the same voice actor all the way through and
Yes.
the same director? Or are they one and the same?
Oh, two different people.
And they've been all the way through, so they must be old as shit then.
Yes.
Who is the director? 'Cause it's weird that like I know who directed all the other ones, but not Chucky.
Tom Holland, not that one.
Not that one. That would have been fucking weird though. Since I'm guessing he wasn't born when the first one came out.
He definitely wasn't born when the first one came out. He's like 18 now, isn't he? The little lad.
We're old, oh shit. Did you know that Chucky was once in the wrestling?
Oh, God, I do know, yes.
You do? Oh, wow. Yeah, Chucky was in the wrestling. That was
It's
something.
one of those things that's impossible to escape if you've ever had internet access. Like, I don't know who he was insulting, but Chucky was on a huge monitor and he was insulting somebody. And then they actually brought somebody in the ring with a Chucky suit, I think.
Maybe, because it went on for a few weeks. I definitely remember the first time it happened. He was insulting Rick Steiner, if you must know.
That's awful.
But
It's awful.
My favourite bit of it was that the in-house interviewer, Mean Gene Okerlund, great name, hit like midway through it, he literally just went, "This is ludicrous." Like, wait to sell it to the people at home, Gene. Fucking wait to, oh, this is meant to be serious. He was just like, "This is ludicrous." I was like, yeah, well, it is. You're right.
Like, I'll happily accept undead wrestlers and astronauts and clowns with doppelgangers and all of that. But you bring in a serial killer puppet who was brought back to life through voodoo from a movie series, and that's the point where I look at wrestling, I'm like, no, you can do better than that.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about context. There is definitely a way to bring in a reanimated killer in the form of a doll, but you can't play it straight, though, and they did. That's when it becomes absurd. If they played it for laughs and been like, "This is all a bit weird, isn't it?" It would have been okay. But yeah, that's wrestling. Speaking of sort of knowingly kitsch slasher bullshit, been watching Blood Drive?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's still dead good, isn't it?
It's dead good. I'm so happy you brought that to my attention.
It's still dead good. Oh man, I think the missus has gone off it, to be honest. She doesn't seem as into it as me anymore, but I kind of saw that coming. I fucking love it. The only bits she seems to pay attention to are the bits with Slink.
Well, Slink is like an attention whore. He's definitely created to focus everything on him.
Just the best. One of my favourite TV characters ever. Just amazing. I thought, like, is he an anti-villain? Is he an anti-hero? What is he? The audience has to have such a weird love-hate relationship with him.
He seems to have like one focus, and that's the blood drive.
Yeah. Well, he's got this weird subplot with Grace now.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's weird because he's positioned between kind of, he's the antagonist for the racers, but then he is also opposed to Hart Enterprises, which is the big bad of the whole piece.
Because he wants his show to keep going, but he doesn't want them to stop it.
Executive meddling.
Yeah, that's like the bits where he's on the phone and he's like,
what was in the last one? He did some diatribe about how corporations always ruin TV shows, and it was like, clearly the writers are just having a field day with this. Just like, we could just say what we actually think through this man, this amazing charismatic man.
They actually used legit complaints they got from people at home, and they incorporated that into the TV show. So when they're listing off the complaints they've had from viewers to Slink, it's actual complaints about Blood Drive. Yes.
Fantastic. I love this TV show so much.
I wish it got a second season, but apparently the 13 episodes is all we're going to get.
Fuck. I saw that, is it Marama Corlett?
That's her name.
I saw that she's quite active on Twitter, isn't she, about kind of campaigning for it. And
because that's her big thing. It's basically a breakout, isn't it?
yeah, well, I was Googling her earlier today, actually, because I was like, what else has she done? It's like, she's done, like, a load of, like, indie films and, like, sort of small TV roles. And I was like, oh, this clearly is her big thing then.
Well, and that's not too bad. That's okay because we all have to start somewhere.
No, absolutely. Like it's a good thing to break it. I mean, to be fair, of all of them, the only one I've seen in anything else is Slink. He's the only one that I recognise from something else.
Yes.
He was in Falling Skies. Falling Skies, yeah. And he was the best one in that as well. Actually. But dead good. I don't have anything else to say about it because we've already done the deep dive into it. I just wanted to bring it up.
We've already covered everything. I've just a little revisit to inform
just
people
want to bring it up. Just say still dead good because one listener did get in touch and say that he watched it for 5 minutes and now I owe him 5 minutes of his life back. Oh,
so how do you intend to give him 5 minutes of his life back?
I intend to say to him, I assume he started at episode 4 because that was the episode that was on TV the night that he texted me angrily.
Was that the Love Plague?
Start from episode 1, maybe. Yeah, Love Plague. That was a dead good episode as well. That was the one that started with the fucking sitcom, The Slinks. The Julian Slink-based Honeymooners. That was amazing. It was one of the best moments of the series. Oh, what a great TV show.
I would have loved like a second season and just a bunch of new drivers. They could have done it for at least so many more movies.
They absolutely could. Like, I'm kind of upset that our motley crew of drivers from the beginning, they're pretty much gone now.
Yeah, it's like basically every other episode kills off one.
Yeah. I never thought the guy from Coronation Street would leave us. That's a surprise. I tell a lie. So the only one that I recognise from anything else. Yeah, fucking The Gentleman. He was in Coronation Street, which is one of the UK's premier soaps.
Oh, God. The UK and your soaps, honestly, there's like one on every half hour, and then if you change the channel, you can immediately catch the next one. And then on Sundays, if you missed anything, you can watch the Omnibus, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, from 6:30 till 9, it's soaps. Wall to wall, baby. The fucking Omnibus, the EastEnders Omnibus, was the bane of my life when I was a child. Because my mum used to work all through the week, and therefore watch a week's worth of EastEnders on a Sunday at dinner. And it was on at dinner time, so it's Sunday dinner, great. Everyone sit down in the living room. Sunday dinner's out. What's on the TV? Fucking EastEnders.
Oh God.
The Italian football and the Formula 1 were on the other side. No, EastEnders. Fucking EastEnders.
The best thing I've ever gotten out of the EastEnders was a CBBC skit from the programme I'm Sorry, I've Got No Head.
Okay, this is news to me. Keep going.
At one point, two people arguing. It's like, oh, let's make up. Hang on, you're giving those shifty end of credits eyes. What? Yeah, the shifty end of credits eyes. Like you're hugging somebody and then suddenly the music starts and it shows that you're not meaning it sincerely. No, I would never do that to you. Oh, okay, fine. Let's make up. And they hug, and suddenly it's like... and the eyes go like, oh my God, I'm not meaning this sincerely. And that's basically all I ever known of the EastEnders.
Fair enough. That is the only thing that I can play on a keyboard.
You can play EastEnders any theme on the keyboard?
That's the only thing I can play on the keyboard, the EastEnders theme tune, yeah. And chopsticks. I taught
myself through a Lisa.
Fuck off, no you didn't.
Yes I did.
What? Well, you've got to record this and upload this somewhere.
Well, I haven't done it in over 10 years.
Yeah, here we go.
When I had a keyboard, I taught myself through a Lisa.
I believe it.
Because I figured it would be better than a British soap, which I'd never seen before in my life. That's the entire temporal mechanical thing again, isn't it?
What's that?
I can't do something in my life if I've never heard of it before.
I suppose, yes. Although, I don't know, maybe some weird miasma, I don't know.
This boy in Holland has never seen EastEnders, but he can do the entire theme tune.
For some reason, I am sort of surprised that you don't get EastEnders. I figured that the BBC would just be like, no, every country gets EastEnders. Apparently Snoop Dogg's a massive fan of EastEnders.
And Will Smith.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Will Smith wanted to have a cameo at one point, but
Snoop Dogg did. Snoop Dogg did, yeah.
Snoop Dogg had a cameo.
No, he wanted to. He wanted to.
It
never came off. I'm right, this might just be a made-up thing in the tabloids, because there was a period during the 2000s where Snoop Dogg was banned from entering the UK because of guns and shit. And there was a newspaper story saying that Snoop Dogg was lined up for a cameo in EastEnders, but was not allowed into the country to film it.
Oh, sure.
Which sounds made up. But no, I did definitely hear that Snoop Dogg, he loved it and he wanted to be in it, much as Will Smith. And let's be honest, Will Smith made worse career moves. Let's be fair.
Like that Kevin James film.
Hey, Ian McKellen was in Coronation Street.
Who?
Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen. Yeah, he was in Coronation Street.
What, originally or?
No, fucking. He had like a 2 week storyline that they wrote specially for him. he was some like he played this like eccentric writer who came in, but he turned out to be a con artist and a charlatan.
Well, that sounds exactly like him.
It was fantastic. It was hilarious.
Speaking of Ian McKellen, I think he's a great actor, and everybody seems to know him from somewhere. But then you ask them, what do you know him from? They're like, I don't know. Like, even now, I know a couple of things I've seen him in recently, but, to ask me what he's famous for back in his heyday, I'd be like, I don't know.
No, I only really have seen him in... No, I must have seen him in other stuff, but the only things that spring to mind are the obvious fucking Lord of the Rings and X-Men. And then what I have seen is there was an old made-for Channel 4 movie in way back, sometime in the 80s. I think it must have been one of his first TV... Because obviously he's famous as a thesp, isn't he?
Yes.
He's a Shakespeare guy. And I think it must have been one of his first TV roles. There's a TV movie called Walter, where he plays a guy with... I mean, it's because it's from so long ago, it's kind of ill-defined what is actually wrong with him. But I guess we would just call it learning difficulties in this day and age. And it's basically an unflinching look at what UK mental hospitals were like in the 80s. And as a direct result of this film, because it's fucking bleak, man, it's brutal. As a direct result of it, there was a massive inquiry into the way that mental patients were treated in the UK, and there was like a massive overhaul of all UK mental hospitals, and like it did a shit ton of work towards looking at the way we actually treat mental health in this country and like treat mental illness. Because basically it was like asylums, that kind of thing, where you just kind of just fucking lock them up and leave them to it, kind of thing. And then obviously after this big inquiry, it was like, oh, actually you might need to treat these people. But he's amazing, isn't it?
He's pretty fucking fantastic.
He is, but it's really rare in that it's the only thing I've seen him in where he's doing his native accent.
He's got a native accent?
Well, yeah, he's from Wigan in the northwest, which is basically Manchester way.
Holy
obviously Ian McKellen's very verbose and very kind of like this and very flirty. Yes. But his real sort of native accent is like, "Hey up, you bastard! I'm Ian bloody McKellen." Like he's from the north. He's a big northern bastard, but he lost the voice.
Like David Prowse.
Like every actor, he lost his accent apart from David Prowse and Sean Bean, who just are far too Yorkshire to ever get rid of it. He is. He's one of those guys. But yeah, he lost his accent. But yeah, in Walter, he's still
Christopher
got
Eccleston.
Oh yeah, and Eccleston, obviously, yeah.
That's brilliant. I was going to talk about Kung Fu Panda, but that movie sounds like something I might want to check out, because I love me some bleak shit. I love me depressing films. I don't know what it is. It all makes me feel like, maybe my life isn't that bad.
There's some scenes in it that are like, it is literally, it's watching through the fingers stuff. It's very like,
grisly.
I don't like what's going to happen, and obviously it's made all the worse by like, oh no, this is how actual people were treated. So yeah, but I do recommend it, as horrible as it is. It is a cracking little film. I think it's on 4OD. I don't know if you can watch that in Europe. I don't know how that works. Like, if you're not in the UK. I don't think I can watch that over here. No. But it should be available somewhere. You should better stream it somewhere. Any UK listeners, it is on 4OD. I'm pretty sure. Track it down. It's dead good. It's only about an hour and a half long, something like that. It's brilliant. Sad, but brilliant.
You know what else is sad but brilliant? If people ask me what my favourite Nicolas Cage film is, which is not very often, I must admit.
Well, this is a fucking change of pace.
Oh no, because it's not like I walk down the street and somebody goes like, "Oi, you, favourite Nicolas Cage movie. They'll be like, do you want to know what my favourite Nicolas Cage movie is?
Is it...
It's Weatherman.
It's what?
Weatherman.
Oh, I've not seen Weatherman.
And so people would look at me then like, how can you say it's Weatherman when you have like Con Air and Face Off and National Treasure and whatever? I'm like,
The Rock.
The Rock. Yeah, I suppose The Rock is pretty good.
The Rock's dead good.
It's dead good, but I really like The Weatherman because it's just him as a weatherman. His life is shit. He tries to make something out of it. He gets a promotion. He's supposed to think like, oh, maybe now I get to turn my life around and I'll be actually a little bit more happy. But no, because he's still seeking his father's approval, who's played by Micah Caine.
Oh, really?
His ex-wife is still leaving him, and he still has issues with his kid, and he gets milkshakes chucked at him from a car. It's so dreary, so awful, so blasé, but it's so great on the other hand because you actually get to see like a human. It's just like a human Nicolas Cage who doesn't do any bug eyes, who doesn't start shouting oddly. It's just like his life is a little bit shit, but in the end he might learn a lesson that maybe he should just, accept things the way they are and get on with it.
That sounds like the antithesis to every Tom Cruise film.
What about Rain Man?
Because every Tom Cruise, the comedian Rich Hall does a bit about this. Every Tom Cruise film is the basic premise of, and I think Al Murray in his book wrote about this. Every Tom Cruise film is right. Tom Cruise is in name a profession, and his ambition is that he has got to become the best profession in the world in order to win his father's approval. So it's like best bartender, best race car driver, best Mission Impossible man, best lawyer, and in Rain Man, it's best Big Brother. Like the whole reason he starts looking after the Rain Man is because he wants his father's cash, innit? It's because his father was like in his dying will, you've got to look after Raymond, otherwise you're not getting a cent. So every Tom Cruise film is about him winning his father's approval. And because it's Tom Cruise, he always perseveres, and he always does. Whereas what you're saying is this bleak Nicolas Cage film, he wants his father's approval, just fails. It's sad.
I'd forgotten that Rain Man involved a father's will, because the way I remember it, it was like, well, he's kind of stuck with him, but in the end he realises he might actually care about him a little bit.
I love Rain Man. Rain Man is fucking
Rain Man is good, but it's probably more Dustin Hoffman than Tom Cruise.
Well, yeah, because
Tom Cruise is still okay.
Tom Cruise is always good, but he's always just Tom Cruise.
He's always Tom Cruise.
Sad Nicolas Cage films. Have you seen Bad Lieutenant, the remake?
No. I do like you call it Lieutenant.
I'm British.
I know, but it's like Nicolas Cage isn't, despite the fact that Michael Caine is his dad.
What I will concede to the Americans is, look at the way that word is spelled. Clearly it's pronounced lieutenant. Where's the F? Where the hell's that coming from?
True.
I'll give that.
I'm not giving you shit because of the way you pronounce it. I'm just saying.
But I'm still going to pronounce it probably.
I like the way you say lieutenant, because I often go for lieutenant. I'm like, no, wait, hang on, you're supposed to fake Brits. I'm like, oh right, yeah, lieutenant. Yeah.
Have you seen the original one?
Yes.
Right. So the original's excellent, isn't it? The Harvey Keitel one. It's quite Harvey Keitel going against type in a way, because you think it's going in one way, and then it's like, oh wait, it's actually quite upsetting now. And when they made the remake, I was like, oh no, this is going to be Nicolas Cage ruining a really good classic, and like he's going to be overacting those. But apparently the remake
gonna be a new Wicker Man.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but apparently it's actually dead good. Apparently it's like, because it came during that run of Cage movies, what he was doing just for tax purposes, basically.
Yeah, because he'd gone bankrupt.
Well, he built the pyramid, and he did all those shit films, and it came like right in the middle of those, and I was like, oh, it's going to be one of them. But apparently it is really good. Apparently, like a few people have said to me, oh no, it's like the movie that kind of saves it and reminds you that, remember when Nicolas Cage was a really good actor? Well, apparently it gets you. But I've always meant to go and check it out since I heard this, but I never have. I hope that you would go, yes, I have, and yes, it is very good, and save me the trouble. But
we could watch it together-ish.
I suppose we could.
Then do a little chat about it.
I suppose we could. We could put that on. We have got a list mounting now. What about G.I.
Joe, Rise of Cobra?
We're not going to watch the Joe Rise of Cobra.
Oh, you're not?
Because you said it was rubbish.
I said it was okay, and I would probably watch it again if it was on TV.
I asked you if it was worth watching it for the purposes of reviewing, because I'm not going to watch something that's awful just to review it, and you were like, you just made this noise. You didn't even say yes.
I made the exact same noise now.
But we've got listener requests.
It's pretty lovely to have listener requests. What was the other one?